Perfection. Awesome. You guys are looking excellent over here. Amazing. Everyone's looking fabulous. There we go. Perfect. All right. Well, guys, welcome into the show. It's Paint with Josh. Hi there. I'm Paint with Josh. I'm going to teach you how to paint an awesome little seascape on a pure white canvas. Little cattails thing. It's going to be really cool. So first things first, let's launch out a sky. And I'm thinking a lot of the times you don't have to have your sky be all blue, right? So let's leave a big old white patch. Let's start over here. Let's leave a big old white section. We'll just put our blue down underneath, just like that. Let it blend in. How far down do you want it to go? How much will it mix in with your paints as you're loading them onto your canvas? Now remember, for the very first thing that we did with this canvas was made sure that it was wet. We put our liquid white on the canvas. So you can use your Bob Ross liquid white, your Grumbacher's First Coat liquid white, whatever you want to put on there. That doesn't always have to be pure blue from the top to the bottom. You can have it however you want. And you can see the more that you intermix with the liquid white that's on the canvas, the lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter it becomes. And that way, it looks more realistic. Right now, let's just blend it down, and then we'll decide how far down we want to go. Now, with very, very, very little paint on the brush, because it's mixed in with that liquid white, we can come up here and drop just literally the smallest amount of blue you've ever seen. Right? It doesn't even look like we added any color up there. Just like that. Gorgeous. Just literal gorgeousity. Gorgeousity. However, whatever that word would be. Gorgeousness. Oh man, I love you guys. How is your day been going? How was your Monday? It's my Friday. It's your guys' Monday, but it's my Friday today. That's a wicked cool looking sky. I'm gonna take a little bit of my black. Just the smallest little touch. There we go. A little bit. We're gonna go underneath our blue section. You can see it just adds a little bit of gray into our sky. Just so we have a little bit of difference out there. It's not all the same thing. You can blend it as much as you want, as little as you want, and then you're deciding as you're doing your painting every time how you want it to look. You want it to be a little bit more bluier? Let's add a little bit more blue. Let's work it in and blend it and crisscross it and mush it and push it and even turn the brush sideways so you can really get into there and really blend it. It doesn't always have to be vertical, right? You want to put a lot of pressure in. You know, turn that thing sideways and use more bristles, right? Now remember, you guys can grab this painting if you go to paintwithjosh.com. It's right up there at the very top of that home page. The very first thing that you're gonna see is this guy right here. Man, it's looking amazing. I love it. I love it. Now, let's come out here. Let's just decide what we wanna do. Maybe right around this area, maybe we'll take a bit of our black, a bit of our blue, just a little bit on the brush. We don't need a whole lot. Ooh, goodness. Maybe a touch of our crimson as well. Just mix it all up into there. So it's this nice, very darkish, purplish little color. And then almost close your eyes and go crazy. Just whatever. Just make sure it's weird and odd and throw that big old bunch of nastiness out there. Come back with your same old brush. All right, we're gonna mix it down to where it's not so terribly dark. So, main key to that, don't put too much paint on your canvas, and it won't be too dark when you're getting up there and mixing it in, right? A little bit of black and blue goes a long way for a stormy old sky. And just like that, you got a little bit of a poof of darkness out there, right? We get to decide what it looks like every time that we go to do one. It's all up to us, guys, literally every time. Let's get in here and grab a little bit of our white. And let's decide what we're gonna do on this guy, right? We know we'd have some form, maybe up from here, popping down, lots of paint. See, we're pushing the paint and trying to mush it off of our brush, get it to come off and disappear, literally. Just transferring it from the brush to the canvas as much as you can get on there and have it blend away. Same thing, you can even come back with your same brush, just dab it off on a paper towel. All we're using is just the top corner. And then blending those two bits together. The more that you push on it, the softer it'll be. Right? It's kind of like backwards. The harder you push, the softer it is. The softer you touch, the harder it is out there. Popping in little bits of clouds and little weird differences and stuff, right? It doesn't all have to be exactly the same. Never, ever, ever. Let's get out here like this guy. A lot more paint onto the brush. Let's cut down in front of this even, right? So we're gonna start in here, twisting down, drop it into the other part of our sky, that other color. See what I mean? You have to make sure they're disconnected. And this one's gonna take a whole heap of a lot of paint. Right up through, kind of saving that little dark area in the back, right? We're deciding every time what we want it to look like. You can mush it up there. Just make sure you get enough paint up there that when you do decide to blend it down, that you have enough there that it doesn't disappear, right? Sometimes you do it in clockwise motions. You can do it clockwise, you can do it counterclockwise. However you want to mix up that paint, remembering that the clouds don't have to be quote unquote perfect, right? They are whatever we say they are. If they're bright out there, then they're bright. If they're dark or they fade away, then they fade away. They don't have to be this perfect old thing out there in your daytime or your nighttime sky, right? Very cool. Now, let's go back into that darker mix. Get our black, get our crimson, get our blue, throw them down over into here. It's just a paint with Josh black color, right? What if now, just stay with me. If we come underneath here, we make a very dark version. Just like that. Literally, you gotta put some stuff in front of other stuff. You gotta push things into the distance. Let's come back in here and grab a little brush. A little 1 incher. We're just gonna mix this guy up less. Less. We don't want him to blend away. We just want it to mix down, become a little bit of a dark little puffer out there in the night. Right? Again, pushing your other clouds back. How many different times can you rotate between light and dark clouds? That's totally up to you and how much room you have on your canvas, right? Like this guy's a little low-lying, little flat, little floater out there. We got a floater in the bowl right there. Again, you're deciding what you want it to look like. Let's say you even popped a bit of the dark right in underneath that guy too. And then we're gonna mix them together and see what happens when we do so, right? Get out here. It's gonna mix up the light and the dark. Let's try not to overdo it so they both don't disappear. Just like that. How quickly can you knock out some clouds? How soft do you want them to be? How pronounced in your sky should they be, right? It's all up to you. What if, I really like that darkness on the bottom though, so what if we grab a little bit of our crimson, black, and blue, we go back at it, and let's just take away that whole thing we just did. Pow, right? Maybe save a little bit of brightness in between, and all of a sudden there's a whole nother darkness in between and over and underneath, and you don't have to do much, you guys. You just have to make it look weird, right? That's all it is. A little bit of darkness. Blend it in. It's allowing itself to blend with the liquid white that's underneath our canvas. Get all these things out there, and the more that you blend it, the lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter it becomes. And then you're deciding how it looks, how to do which thing, which part, all up to you, right? Let's get a little bit more of our white. Let's see, we came down through here. Bang. Just in little places. Little thing, right there. All up to us every time. How bright, how dark, right? These clouds are just stormy out there. Now, let's not get down too far because we've got a really cool looking little oceany scene planned for you, okay? Now, what we're gonna do is you can even take your same big old brush that you had before. We're gonna get that black, right? Get it down there. There we go. We're gonna get that black and get that blue. Pull it onto our brush. And now we're gonna try to be a very straight little line. And we don't need it to be too big. Remember, drop down. Might have to cut in front of you guys a little bit just to get it across here. Just like that. All right, just a flat little horizon in the night. Right? You're deciding how dark it is, right? So how dark do you want to have your little seascape? Totally up to you. Try to make it straight. There we go. Just try to make it straight, Josh. That's it, right there. Right? That's all you need. Little blast of dark, blackish, bluish back there. And again, if we could make it straight, that would really be helpful as far as having a flat horizon in the background. There we go. Much better. Much better. Okay. Now, you can load this guy up as much as you want. So you can have it be as dark blue and black as you want it to be. You can get it all the way up in there. You can put it over here. You can have it wherever, right? All up to you and how you want yours to look. I always like have mine look a little darker along the back of my horizon back there, right? Just push it out there and let's have some fun. Oh, that's cool. Okay, now, with our brush that doesn't have much paint on it, we can even blend some of our sky and our water together, and so it's harder to tell where the horizon is, right? Until you go in and actually define it with your palette scrapey tool and a little bit of our white paint is all we need. Okay, now let's just drop down from wherever we think our horizon is. Let's start scraping back and forth with enough of our thick titanium white out here, just back and forth, back and forth. Doesn't even need to go from side to side, but all of a sudden you'll start to see little waves coming in. Right? Scrape above, don't try to just go down. Try to start below and work your way up. That way you'll get cooler little things out there. Maybe these guys are rolling down, just straight down. A little bit, get a little bit less, right? So it's almost like a feed rolling down like that. You don't need much more than that, you guys, honestly. Serious as a heart attack out there. Roll that guy up, mix these guys together, roll it down. And now as we start getting closer, let's get some more of our liquid white out of our jar over here. Now the liquid white is a very runny white paint that allows this paint to act more like water, right? And so you'll notice it will slide a lot easier. It will blend a lot more. Let's take that guy over there. Let's pull this guy onto this side. Right, just so we have some waves going in different directions. You're pulling it from one edge, taking it off the top of the other edge. And that'll make it look like your water is going in two different directions, right? Two different things are happening way out there. Very cool. We're just filling it in, trying not to make everything all be this exact same. Doesn't all need to be the same out there, right? Same thing in here. Let's start feeding little bits, kind of rolling back, scraping it out underneath. Nothing out there has to be too close or too big or too whatever, right? It's all up to us. The more and more and more we scrape, the more closer it's going to become, right? We're not trying to make everything look all the same. So have there be some differences out there, little places where things are a bit different, right? Just like that, literally. Throw it down, because we don't need a whole lot of detail out here way in the distance, right? All the time, everyone's always trying to put too much detail into their painting when you really don't need it. If you plan on having some foreground out here, we're not gonna worry too much about these waves. Again, scrape them out, leave some little differences in between. That's pretty much all you gotta do, guys. Now, from here, let's get a little bit more of that liquid white. All right, we're gonna come in here. Let's take one little touch of our blue. Let's just get a little bit of blue. Let's put this down here like this. There, just a little bit. Don't need too much. Bing, bang, boom. A little bit like that, honestly. Don't need much more than that, okay? Now, let's take a bit of our liquid white and a bit of our titanium white. We're gonna mix them up together. We're gonna grab it in here, and we're gonna make a very shiny, wet, watery area in here, just by dragging this guy down, right? And initially, it's not gonna look too fancy, right? Doesn't look very much like wet, watery sand to me just yet, okay? But all we're trying to do is make this little area, just by dragging it down very lightly, we're gonna make it look shiny and sheeny and all sorts of stuff, just by not overdoing too much, leaving it nice and glossy like that, okay? Now, even on the same brush, haven't washed the brushes one time yet. Let's go up into both our brown colors, so the darker brown and the lighter brown. Pull them down here. There we go. That way I can load them onto my brush without having too much paint all in one section, okay? Now we're gonna come from either side and start launching in. Boom, boom, boom. Right, same thing from the edge. Drag it, drag it, drag it. Now we're gonna get very light on our pressure, right? We're not gonna try to push too hard, because the harder that we push, the more the blue will disappear, right? You can push hard down here, that's fine. You wanna blend these guys in, go ahead and blend them in, but get very light around your little light blue area over there. Otherwise, it's gonna blend away and all become brown, taking away that shiny, watery effect that we've got going on over there, right? Let's cover the edges. Sorry to get my big head in your way, but I gotta cover the sides. Otherwise, it just looks funky to me. If the sides aren't finished, then the painting isn't finished, right? Same thing, got my blue over here. Gotta finish my blue and my water and my sky on this side. Bang. So what are you guys thinking so far? How's it looking? Because we gotta come out here with our liquid white again. Sort of extend this guy out, bring him down very close towards that glossy section, leaving a little bit of a dark shadow in there. Doesn't have to be so humongously big. That little dark shadow in there, I'm telling you, okay? Now, let's come over here. Maybe, just push real hard, streak out into that blue, right? Gotta have some sort of something out here, a little bit of our foam or whatever it is, a little sea foam action happening out here. And just by scraping side to side, kind of popping up every once in a while, but nothing too intense or too detailed because we're gonna have those cattails in the front to look at, right? It's all about what's your focal point. Is it just waves and water, or are you gonna have something in the front to look at? Because that's gonna change your painting, you know what I mean? And then you're gonna decide as you go how you want it to look. Maybe on this side, a little bit more craziness, a little bit more roughagey, right? And it all depends again on you and how you want your painting to look each time that you go to do it. We could leave it literally just like that and call it a finished painting, and that would be done. What do you think? Isn't that gorgeous? Just honestly, how easily you can do some things, right? Isn't that cool? Remember, guys, this one is available over on my website, paintwithjosh.com. You can be the very first person to get over there and get it and secure it for your own self. There will only ever be one like this, right? So if you like it, you got to get over to paintwithjosh.com, be the very first person there, because there's only one, and you can get it for yourself. It's right there on the homepage. We're going to grab a little of our sap green, a little of our ultramarine blue or Prussian phthalo blue kind of mix. It's kind of in between both. Alizarin crimson, midnight black. Put them all four into this big old pile. And then we're going to get out here. We're going to mix it down. Mix it down until it's all one, like disgustingly gross brownish greenish color. Very dark, very dark. It's actually not even as dark as I would like it to be. So we're gonna take a little bit more of my black and mix that guy into the pile, scooping it, making it very dark. By the way, guys, I'm Paint with Josh. I don't know if you've ever met me before. Maybe you've seen me around. Maybe you only recognize the back of my hand because we've got some viral videos going around right now. But I'm the guy connected to that hand, and I like to show you how to paint and how to do these cool scenes for free, literally 5 days a week, 2 times a day most times. And the only way that I make any revenue is by you guys buying paintings, merch, and all that stuff, right? So think about that as you're watching this free show. Just think. Nobody charged you for this. Maybe you should go support this guy, right? Now, let's get over here. I'm gonna grab a little bit, and when I say a little, I mean a lot, of that chunky, thick nastiness. Oh, look at it, it's foul. It's gooped up like crazy. Now remember, you gotta get taller than your water at least a little bit, and then drop it down. Right down into there, okay? Don't worry about the emergency services that are heading out to go save someone's life. Over there, over here. Bring it down, bring it down, bring it down. You can see a little bit of that green hint in this very dark color, which is going to help as soon as we go to highlight those guys. See how we're going on a downward angle like so, right? It's going to help, my friends. It's literally going to help you. This downward angle, right? We're making triangles, literally. We made a triangle over here where it's straight, and then we're going down, right? Triangle over here, out, down, not just straight, and definitely don't go back up in here. If you're like that, you don't have all this, ooh, you're not gonna like it. I'm just telling you. Should we throw one over here too? Oh, I think so, but look at all that wet paint. What do you think? Should we put another little bush over here? You guys, let me know, right? I'll do whatever you decide, but you gotta tell me right now. Now, before you go, oh my God, he ruined it, right? Come back in here, pull this guy out, this angle, so we're going down. It helps feed it and make it more perspectively correct when you're higher up here, feeding it out. You can always take some of this brown and feed that brown back in so it doesn't get so dark, right? It's all up to you guys and how you do it. But Out here, pulling it out. In, out, in, over here, pulling it. You get that little bit of shadow. Look at it, it's amazing. Right? That cool little bush out there. Just waiting for the ocean tides to come in. Right? Isn't that cool? Oval brush. Oval brush. Get into our green. Right? Into our yellow. What does this liquid white do? Anybody out there? Do you know? Does anybody know what the liquid white does? Beyond brighten up the colors, right? Obviously makes the colors a bit brighter than they were before. But what else does it do when you're out here attaching it to all of your bushies and such? Anybody? I'll tell you, just in case you didn't know. It thins the paint down. Remember what Bob always told us? That a thin paint would stick to a thick paint? Remember him saying that? Because he said it all the time. Right? So, do you remember him saying that thing? That's because these oil paints are so thick, right, that they don't want to attach themselves to each other without some sort of help. Right? Come out here. You gotta go up. You gotta get through the waves and through the water in order to push it backwards. Zip. How tall do you want to go? Do you want to have a little corn dog on there? Watch this. Brush on here. Roll it back, and then roll it back again. Just have a little corn dog plant out there, and we'll throw something on the top of it if we wanted to. Right? A couple little bits, project them up into your water. Don't put your bush way down here and pop your bits up into your sand and not touch your water. You have to get out there and push it through. It must be pushed through the water. Now we'll come in here, a little of our same plaque mix with our very, very, very small amount of that odorless mineral spirit cleaner. Okay, get out here off the top, grab it, just give it a little flick. Grab it, a little flick. All right, just a little flickaroo, little flickery, just like that, wherever you want them to be. Maybe not all of them have it, maybe some of them do, maybe some of them don't. They don't all have to look the same. Now, should we put another one on the other side, guys, or should we just throw some sand in there and call it Dunskies? This is oils. We're painting in the wet on wet technique, just like Bob Ross used to do. Right, we could put something over there. We could do all sorts of stuff. Just sand, I feel you. Right? We got no bush. We got do more. Remember, this one is available. You guys can go grab it. It's perfect, they say. We haven't even done the sand splatters yet, my friends. Let's just do a little guy. Just a little guy. I love this water line right here, but we're going to have to get rid of it. It's going to have to go, you guys, because we'll just put a little old bush in there. Just kind of even it out a bit, right? Take our blue, black, and crimson, grab a little bit of our green like we had before, mix it down. The only reason we add the green into the plaque mix is because we're going to highlight it with a green-yellow paint, right? And that greeny-yellow color is going to be helped by this green that's in our dark, shadowy mix, right? Again, get up in here, pop it down, pop it down, pop it down. Right, now we got a little walkway down to the beach. Right, all that darkness. Get it in there, make sure it's thick, make sure it's crazy. Oh, it's nasty, right? All that stuff doesn't have to come up as tall if it's gonna go below. You don't want it to just be exactly the same, right? Now, same thing, get in here, start up a little bit higher, work your way down a little bit lower. Zip, zap, zoop. You're deciding what you want your sand to look like every time that you go to do it. Right? You can walk down to the beach. You got a little pathway down there, guys. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous, my friends. Back into our liquidy white, which again helps the paint get thinner, right? Let's actually get a little bit more. Let's get a little bit more because I want to change the color to just a bit. Now, this is what the liquid white looks like when it's almost all the way run out. It's just nasty. It's very runny, right? Your paint that comes out of the tubes would never, ever, ever do that in a million years. So, you always have to have the right mixture, the right ratio, right? If you don't have the right mix, get into that yellow ochre. There it is. Burst the skin on it. There we go. A little of my green, a little of my yellow ochre. Bang, bang, Boom. Very thin, very wet little paint. Right? Adding these guys on there. Pop, 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 pop. Little bits, right? Remember to leave spaces in between. And remember, if your brush gets overly thick with that highlight paint, you gotta clean it out. Beat the devil out of it. Clean it out. Come down here and get a little bit more of our liquid white. Back over into our little color. Let's change colors now. We'll go to that green and our cad yellow mix. Just a bit brighter. There we go. Just so we have some differences there. Right? Your color never has to go all the way down to the bottom. You want to leave spaces of dark in there. You don't need every space to be covered up. Leave some spots, because that's where your depth is going to live, my friends. It's way down there in those dark areas. Okay, so same thing. We get into our odorless mineral spirits, which is our brush cleaner. Pop up a couple little things here, there, wherever. How far do you want it to grow? How tall do you want it to be? Just make sure you get into your ocean, because that helps push it backwards. If it's not going backwards, then you don't have any depth in your scene, okay? You always have to remember that. Okay, let's do that one thing. Since we got this brush in our hands, why don't we get out here and we'll sign this painting with our 3-bird signature that's just oh so famous. The 3 birds of Paint with Josh. People will riot if I don't sign the painting with these 3 birds. They throw a fit, right? Just a fit. What happened to that last little guy? What happened to you, little birdie? It's the best part about having the odorless mineral spirits is it will blend away, quite literally gone in seconds, because the paint is already so thin. Caca, just flying out there in the night. Yeah, that was really cool. So remember, if you get this painting during the show, right, you get to come up with the title for it forever. Okay, so you get to come back and tell us, hey, call it this. I'm the one who purchased it. I'm going to call it this. Right? It's all up to you. You get to decide. Come up here again. Grab, flick, flick, flick. Little things. Doesn't have to be crazy. They don't all have to be perfect. They're supposed to be imperfect. That's the best part about the things. Nothing out there is supposed to be this perfect thing, right? Now, let's go back into our little brush. Let me show you guys how to make some sand, okay? We're gonna take our odorless mineral spirits onto our cleaner and go into that dark color up here. There, we need it runny enough. So it starts to run. We'll get it out on the edge. So it's very much like watercolor right now. It's very thin, very crazy. Back up, because it could be huge by the time that it launches off, okay? Just like that, a couple black specks out there, okay? Then, why don't we go into same odorless mineral spirit cleaner, and then that brown that we had before. Again, just a little bit, a couple little sprays. You don't want to overdo it, but you will notice the difference between the brown and the black specks. Now, for the final touch, okay, this is what really makes it look like sand, is that liquid white. Drop it out here. Don't need so much of it, Josh. There we go. A little bit, okay, sprinkle it. Little white specks start looking like little seashells, and when you add them all together with that brown that's underneath, doesn't that look like sand? Isn't that just amazing? Isn't it amazing? Little guy, I see it. I see what you mean. I see what you mean. Let's get a clean dry brush. We'll get up here and mix this guy in. There. Had a little bit of my sand color on it. Now it's disappeared. We can't see anything else. Very cool. We could literally do them all. We could blend them all away. And go back and do them again. That's the best part about doing these scenes, right? And when you have that odorless mineral spirit in your paint, it makes it so thin like water, you can literally blend it away. So, like I was saying, if you grab this painting during the live show, you not only get to pick the title, but you also get a free gift by spinning the spinny winny wheel. Let's come back up here to this guy. Caw-caw. Little birdie family. Boom. Flying out there in the night. Right? Come down here. We'll sign it. And like I was saying, if you grab it, you get to come up with the title. If nobody gets it, then we all have to come up with the title on our own. Okay? So start hitting me with some title suggestions. What would you call this if you had painted it? Let me know. And then remember, This is the only way that I make any income, is by teaching you guys how to paint and having painting sell and going and finding new homes to live in. Right? So, if you like it enough, make sure you grab it, take it home with you. Take it home with you. And I'll get it sent out to you as soon as it gets dry. This is one of my favorite parts about painting on white canvases, is the little sticks and twigs and different little things you can add in there just by scraping away the paint and revealing the white canvas itself. Right, so you want a couple little sticks, little twigs, scrape them in, put them in, holding up all your leaves, coming out of places, over here, over there, wherever you want. The more you do, the cooler it looks. Very neat. Okay, let's clean up some brushes. One of you guys, I'm hoping, is gonna like this painting enough that you're gonna go over to paintwithjosh.com and you're gonna get it for your own self. And then you're gonna come back here and tell us what we should call it. That's my goal for today. All right, so if you wanna be that person that just makes my day, get over to paintwithjosh.com, grab this guy. Now, start coming up with a title. You guys type it in. I've only got like 6 or 7 brushes to clean and it won't be long. So type them in. And when's the last time that Paint with Josh did a seascape on just a white canvas? Literally, right? You can do it. I don't like doing it as much as on at least a section of black canvas, but that's because the black canvas just holds and retains all of those shadows for us. And we don't have to be as careful. But it is possible to do on a white canvas for sure. All themes are possible with Paint with Josh. Okay. Like I said, if you like this one, head over to paintwithjosh.com. It's the very first thing you'll see when you get there. It'll look like 2 of me's. Maybe you might see the spinny winnie wheel. It says social media painting show on there. And that way, that's the one you want to get. Number 1843, 1,843 paintings I've done in my career. Which is just incredible. 1,843 paintings since we started. Almost there, guys. One more brush. One more lonesome brush to clean. And then we'll be ready to see all your titles, so type them in. All right, the more you type it in, the more chance you're going to have that I see it. And you're going to help us by bringing in more viewers into the stream. Oh, man, that's cool. That's a pretty one right there, guys. The Beaches of Cheyenne, Pathway to Serenity. Let's see. The footprints. You can always add footprints if you like. You can always do that. I love the sandy, gravelly look. And so we tend not to add footprints after the sand and gravel goes in. It just looks so cool. Go up there, pick a little piece of it out. Take it home with you. Take it home with you. So remember, if you like it, you got to go over to Paint with Josh. That's me. Paint with Josh. Over there on the internet. Obviously, you know what to do at the end. You put the .com at the end, right? And that'll take you right to my website where you can get this. I don't make any money if you guys don't shop my store, right? But I'll always continue to bring you free videos as long as we can get paintings to keep going. So, if this one goes and finds a new home, you not only get a free gift and you get to name the painting, right? But I'll also come back and do another show tonight just as a thank you for getting this one, right? So, anybody out there want to support, go to paintwithjosh.com. Otherwise, we're about to pick a title right now. Let's pick a title from the Peanut Gallery. Let's see, Cool Blue. I like that. I love all these things. Guys, thanks for being here, everybody. Here Comes the Storm. Clemson Sunset. Calm Before the Storm. Beaches of Cheyenne. Over the Horizon. Before the Storm. I dig that too. Oh, it's so neat looking, you guys. Serenity Dream. Treasure Path. That's cool. The Calm Before the Storm. Here Comes the Boom. Seaside. Raging Waves. I like that one too. 3 Little Birds. That's my signature right there. Calming Thunder. I like that. Bring on the Rain, Distant Thunder. Excellent titles, everybody. All excellent. All excellent. Man, don't know which one. Final Flight. That's a cool one. That's a cool one. Passage Through the Eye. Pebble Beach. I like that. Let's give it to Jay for Pebble Beach. Because there's pebbles there, guys. It's obviously not Pebble Beach, because that's a golf course, but there's pebbles on this beach. So, very cool. Very cool, guys. I want to thank all of you guys for being here and watching this painting come together in under 35 minutes. We knocked out this little beautiful thing from start to finish, showed you exactly how to do it so you can copy it and do the exact same thing. This one's number 1843. I can't believe we painted 1,843 paintings. And we're calling it Pebble Beach. I like that. That's cool because it's a bunch of little pebbles down there, right? Painted on 5/12/2024. We're all going to go check out paintwithjosh.com because it's the most awesomest place of all time. And you can find paintings and all sorts of stuff over there on paintwithjosh.com. I just need a little bit of blue there. Just a little touch. Now I'm going to have to wash off another brush. That's how it always goes. Always happens that way. So, Pebble Beach. That one's really neat. I really like how it came out. Love the depth, the distance, all the good things to it. There we go. Crack that little bad boy right there. And yeah, that's cool. I like it. I like it. Created in front of your very eyes. Wicked cool. Okay, so we had an awesome title. I had a great night, and I love all you guys over there on YouTube and Facebook. I can't wait to see your versions of this painting. Please send it in to official Paint with Josh over on Facebook or Paint with Josh K over on Instagram. And I love you guys, and until I see you guys again next time, take care. Have a good day. Blah, blah, blah.